To be living elemental is to be living a more balanced life. I'm your host, Sara and the founder of Jade Scott Design. Through my interior design studio and feng shui practice, I awaken clients to the idea that their home is just as essential to their well-being as is to their mind and bodies. Essentially, nature's elements create balance and support, and through the lens of home, we can utilize their power when applied intentionally. Through this podcast, it is my intention to open you up to the idea that by living elemental through mind, body, and spirit will have a significant impact on your home and your life. This week, we're exploring another area of the home known as the helpful people and travel section. These are the people who help us on our journey, not only here on the physical plane, but also those from the heavens or the spiritual plane. This area is supported by our spiritual community. It brings forth blessings and synchronicities. When we are aligned with the right people, synchronistic events seem to abound. We are in the right place at the right time, meeting the right people. This area also supports travel and charity. You could think of helpful people as benefactors. By definition, a benefactor is a person who gives money or charity to help a person or a cause. So you might ask, who can you turn to? Who can support you on your mission? So I want you to think about maybe the top 5 or 10 people in your circle or your community right now. How would you rate your relationship to them? Are they supportive of you and your direction in life? Do they inspire you, uplift you, help you? Or do you find you're growing apart? Maybe some of those people in your circle are holding you back. You might be desiring a completely different lifestyle and wanting better for yourself or your family. Helpful people can range anywhere from your friends, social communities, colleagues, mentors, coaches, even support from those I mentioned on the spiritual plane, such as angels or deities, etc. We mentioned that this area also supports travel. So travel inspires, right? Ideas, at least for me, have come forward when I'm traveling. My mind is taken out of that daily routine, and travel in itself provides inspiration and support to generate new ideas or push them forward out into the world. And there are always going to be places we'd love to travel to, but travel also expands our mind. It introduces us to worlds unknown and opens us to new perspectives through culture or other ways of living. So just like helpful people who support, inspire, and uplift us, travel does the same through connection and culture. When connecting to our spirit guides or those who have passed, we connect with them via astral travel. So think again about your immediate circle, your support systems, your mentors, friends, family, your guides. Do you feel connected to those in your circle? Are you allowing support in? Did it even occur to you that you can ask for help? Asking for help or support can be hard. This has been hard for me in the past and still something I probably am challenged by. I was and still am very independent. I think that grew from childhood of being determined to prove that I can do it myself. But at a certain point in my life, it became critical. I was determined to be independent. As a teen, get a job, move out of my parents' home. But the downside about that is that I've sort of become obsessed with proving myself and fell into this perfectionism trap by working so hard. I think I've always held 2 jobs most of my life. And I'm now at a point where I'm learning to let that part of myself go a bit and lean into letting someone else take lead. That's playing out in my life right now with my husband. We're sort of switching roles as he's now becoming the financial support for our family as I find my place in my career, in my entrepreneurial journey. I need to step back and let him be my support so that I can sort of find my way. Another way to ask for support is by asking guidance through prayer or affirmations, listening to your intuitive leads. I talk a lot about intuition. It saves you time and energy once you learn to trust it. So, intuition can also show up as a supportive guide, something you can call upon. Another question you can ask is, do you support others? Again, that energy exchange of giving and receiving. I'm currently studying the works of Florence Scovel Shinn. She's a metaphysician from the late 1800s, early 1900s, and she spoke a lot about how the support of others, especially a spouse or a partner, because at the time of her work, men primarily worked and women not as much. So she mentions frequently how highly successful men at their time, who also understood the laws of the universe, would say that they only succeeded because their wives believed in them and always backed their ambitions. So ask yourself, who are you supporting? How can you be more encouraging and inspiring to those wanting to chase their dreams and their desires? So, you want to energize this area of your home if you want to bring more helpful people, more mentorship to your life. Maybe you're a business owner and you want more aligned clients to help you learn and grow and provide better service. Or maybe you're seeking investment or investors into your life. You can also enhance this area if you want to develop your own inner guidance and intuition or increase the synchronicities in your life. So where's this area located? It's located in the front right corner of your home. If you're standing at your front door, simply look to the right, all the way to the right corner. That is your helpful people and travel section. If you're doing this without the guidance of a practitioner, I think the primary bedroom is always a great place to work in. You would be standing in the doorway of your bedroom and looking to the far right corner in the front. If this area is unorganized or in a bit of disarray, it will block the flow of support. You might not notice that the perfect person, the perfect situation is standing there right in front of you. Clutter in this area might hinder the flow of your intuition. So be sure to tidy things up in here. Remove any photographs or items of anything or anyone who could be depleting your energy or is not supportive of your dreams or direction in life. This area is supported by the metal element, and the metal element is known for organizing, clarifying, refining. So you can bring the metal element in to support your decision of who you choose to keep close or in your inner circle. And this doesn't mean that you're cutting anyone in your life who doesn't support you, but allow yourself to be more discerning about who you choose to share your dreams and your goals and aspirations with. It really should only be with people who are encouraging you. Life is full of people who will tell you it can't be done, your dreams are too big, you need money to make money, whatever. No one appreciates the advice of a wet blanket. In the 5-element cycle, metal is the beginning of the yin phase. It begins the constricting process when we begin to draw inward. We see this in nature at autumn when we start to go inside more, right? Before we withdraw completely in the winter. It's the beginning of that inward phase. If you think of salt as a metal, salt is known to draw out toxins. So what is toxic in your life? What needs to be released? What can you let go of so that you can expand? What can you make more room for? Just like metal scissors, sometimes cutting out things of our life, whether they're people or circumstances, it makes room for more to come to us. So now that we've organized, we've refined and discerned, we can now rearrange and energize this space a little bit. The colors associated to metal would be obviously silver and gold metallics, but also you could work with shades of gray, black, white, even pastels. The shape for metal is round and is supported by the number 6. So, bringing in decorative accents, furnishings, artwork that represent metal and its associated color and shape are one way you can enhance this area. I had a very recent client actually, and this client had an extension of the helpful people section in her home. I haven't talked about extensions yet on the podcast, but basically, it's when a little corner or section of the home sort of sticks out a bit from the overall floor plan. And it tends to fall usually in one of the four corners of the home. And anytime there's an extension, that particular area of your life will be highlighted while you're living in the home. And as I mentioned, the number 6 is associated to this gua. And what was so interesting was when she sent me her video, because it was a virtual consultation, she sent me the video of her home. She did a little walkthrough and she turned to the front door, which sat in her helpful people section. And she said, and the previous tenants left this beautiful display of coins, or I think she might have called them charms. I don't remember what she called them. And she didn't recognize them at first as feng shui coins. And there were 6 of them taped above the door, 6 representing support, allowing support, right? And they had that right at the front entry. So it was like welcoming in that supportive energy into the home. And I think that that was a really beautiful message for her. And for her to see that she was living in a space that was there to support and she can call on that support. And how lovely that the previous tenants practiced feng shui. I think she said she's been in this space for 12 years now. And so the overall energy of her space was good and supportive. And I think that was a really fun moment during the consultation for us to uncover. So other decorative accents you can add can be literally metal. So if you wanted to include photographs of those you're seeking support from, you can place them in metal frames as opposed to wooden ones. Metals of the earth are also great. We just mentioned salt, so incorporating salt lamps, maybe shells from your previous travels, and of course, gemstones and other crystals. If you are into crystals, a really good one for this area is apophyllite. Apophyllite is a wonderful stone. It's known to assist in connecting with our higher selves or our intuition, but also connecting with that spiritual or angelic realm. Some clusters feature a colorless to green apophyllite crystal. They also sometimes form in association with a peach-colored stilobite as well as a clear quartz, which clear quartz can aid in scrying. Scrying is a technique in revealing the unseen through the use of our inborn second sight or our meta senses. Second sight is our ability to see things that can't usually be perceived through your 5 senses. A common example of scrying would be the gypsy scrying into her crystal ball to see the future. So apophyllite is a great crystal for this. I love them so much. They are actually the only stones that I carry on my site at Shop Elemental, not only because they're beautiful specimens, but the energy and the wisdom that they carry make them really wonderful companions for the home and specifically in this area. I didn't even know about these crystals. My husband and I are actually really into crystals and gemstones. We go to some of the local shows here, and I was immediately drawn to them. It was interesting because I had bought a couple of them, and then I researched them because they were new to me. I hadn't really seen them or experienced them before. But once I researched them a bit, I realized how much they are tied to intuition. And at that time in my life, I was really developing and working on my intuition. So it was really the perfect crystal for me. And I'm happy to now share these with you on the site. Adding artwork or photos of places you'd like to travel to or have traveled to, maybe your best ideas came while on vacation and you just need a little reminder of that. Your enthusiasm at the time, how connected you were, how aligned with your idea you were at that time can be the reminder you need to keep pushing through. And placing these inspiring images can encourage literal travel if you want to travel more, or metaphorically, travel in the means of expanding your consciousness. Earth elements also support the helpful people and travel area, as earth is a supportive element of metal. So you can incorporate wicker baskets, maybe some pottery. These earthy elements would sort of help warm up the sometimes rigid, cold, monochromatic metal. And they'll also provide structure and aid in organization, which metal certainly appreciates. So be sure to download the free bagua map. The link is in the show notes. Remember to align it with the front door of your home if you're going to lay it on your floor plan, or align it with the doorway leading into the bedroom if you're going to just work in the bedroom. If you have any questions or you need additional guidance, I'm always here for you. You can get in touch via my website. There's plenty of information there at jadescottdesign.com. And be sure to check out those apophyllite crystals on the shop page. I actually only have very limited amount left, so be sure to pick one up soon if that's something that is calling to you. The whole intention behind the shop is to be another resource of support as you uncover and prepare your home so that it aligns with your desired life. And lastly, if you enjoyed this podcast, please subscribe, rate, and review. All of those actions are extremely helpful in getting this content out to more and more people. Until next time, much love and gratitude.